YouTube, what's going on? This is Govern Forex here, and in this video I want to talk about uptrends and downtrends and market structure. So basically, market structure is how the price is acting, meaning is it trending, is it consolidating, or is it choppy? And if you're able to identify which of the three the price is doing, then you'll have an easier time entering trades and having successful trades. Today we're going to talk about trending markets, not consolidating markets or what they call ranging markets, nor are we going to talk about choppy markets, just trending markets. And the easiest way to identify trending markets is by looking at higher highs and higher lows, or lower highs and lower lows. Basically, an uptrend is identified by higher lows and higher highs. As you can see here, and I can actually draw this out, this low is higher than this previous low here, so it's a higher low. Price goes up into what's a higher high. The reason this is a higher high is because it's higher than the previous high, so it's a higher high. Now this is all obvious, but to people who are new to trading, it's not an easy concept to grasp, because you have these four terms that sound very alike: higher highs, higher lows, lower highs, lower lows, and they're getting confusing. But if you take your time to actually draw these out, then it's gonna get very easy for you to identify and understand what each term means as soon as you hear it. So this is an uptrend, as you can see. I'm just drawing it out with these trend lines here, and it's a lot easier to see. Okay, so this would be an uptrend, is identified by higher highs and higher lows. Okay, and then we go into the downtrend. Okay, so here is when the uptrend basically ends. Okay, and again, this is all in hindsight, but this is the only way that you're going to get better at identifying market structure, and specifically in this case trends. Okay, so you have a higher high here. Okay, then you have a higher low, because again this low is higher than this previous low here. Okay, it's higher. And then all of a sudden the price makes a lower high. Okay, that tells you that the power of the buying power, or the power of the bulls, is getting weaker. Okay, this means that now the sellers are getting a little bit stronger, because it no longer formed a higher high. Okay, were the market to make a higher high, then you know that the power of the bulls, or the buying power, it's still amounting, it's still going up. But if you guys notice that all of a sudden the market structure, it's making a lower high instead of a higher high, that should give you a red flag in terms of what price is doing and what it might do. Okay, again, this is all in hindsight because I can see the price, but if you were not able to see from this candle, then you can get an idea of what price might do. Again, you cannot predict what price will do, you can only get ideas of what price might do. And so you would continue to wait and see what price will do next, and then all of a sudden it makes a lower low and no longer makes a higher low. Now this confirms that selling power is increasing, and then you would wait again and you would see that price makes another lower high. Okay, because now this high is lower than the previous high. Okay, so this definitely tells you that the chances of price going down are very likely. And also what helps is drawing trend lines here. So you can draw this trend line here. Let me just make it a little better. There we go. Okay, so 2 touches. Okay, now this is a strong, uptrend here, and it's on the 4 hour, on the hour 4 chart. Okay, and again, notice what happened here. Okay, price was making higher highs and higher lows, and then all of a sudden it made a lower high. That gives you an idea that selling power is increasing. And then you keep observing the market, and you notice that it's making lower lows, then lower high, lower low. Okay, this gives you the idea that the market has a strong chance of going down, because now the bears are getting momentum. You can draw it. Okay, like that. Drawing trend lines helps a lot too. And this is what I wanted to get to. Okay, so you keep on plotting this out. Okay, you notice that the market is going down, and you would sell. I mean, you wouldn't sell just out of this information. You would need to get confluence and get other confirmations, like reversal signals and not trend lines, supporting resistance lines, supporting resistance levels, and Fibos. You can use those as well, but I'm not gonna get into that now. And you notice that price keeps going down. You know, it's very consistent, so this is a very good downtrend. If you were to sell, get a signal around here somewhere, if you were to sell, chances are you would get winners here. Okay, like this is an engulfing bearish here, so you would get good results here. And then I wanted to get to this part here. Then all of a sudden you get a higher high in the structure where you only had lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, and then all of a sudden you get a higher high, which will give you the idea that the price might start going up again, and that the bulls will take control and push price up. In this case, you would wait and see what the market does next. And then of course it makes a higher low, and now I would think the price would definitely go up right from here. And then again, you wait, and you wait for a signal. Hopefully you don't jump into a buy immediately, right? Because then you notice that what the market did was it created a lower high. Okay, because it's lower than this high here. So that would confuse the hell out of me, and it would get me hesitant to trade, because it's not clear what the market is actually doing here. Okay, so what you do is you don't trade, you just observe. And then of course the market creates, well, like 2 lower lows here. It would be a lower low here, lower high, and then lower low, but I didn't really plot that in because it's not much. And then you observe what the market does, right? Anyway, digress. You observe what the market does, and you see that it, instead of creating a higher high, it should have been a higher high from here, so higher high, higher low. It should have created another higher high here in order for me to confirm that this is actually going up again. But the market did not do that. The market created a lower high, which tells me that the market isn't going up. It might not even go down. So I would just wait and see what the market does, and then it gives me that lower low. So now if you draw the trend line, you would know, or you can get the idea that the market is still going down. So this is why I emphasize to wait and confirm for a trend, meaning if you get a series of lower lows and lower highs and lower lows, and in the middle of that you get a higher high and a higher low, which is an indication of the sellers getting weak, I suggest you wait and see what price does next, because you want to confirm, always confirm with continuous higher highs and higher lows before you actually get into the buying mentality. Same thing with the lower lows and lower highs and lower lows. Always make sure you get more than a pair. At least I would wait at least to see, you know, 2 lower highs and 2 lower lows before I start thinking, before I identify a trend as a downtrend. And same thing, I would wait for at least 2 higher highs and 2 higher lows before I identify a trend as an uptrend. And let's continue with this trend here. So it's a lower low and it gives me another lower high, okay, barely, which is an indication that the trend is still going down. And also you get the pin bar here, which means a strong rejection, a strong buying rejection from the sellers, which tells me that the market is definitely going down, okay? But it didn't really go down as much as I would expect it. When I see the pin bar on a 4 hour chart, I would think that the market will go way down, but it didn't, which is fine. And so it gives me a higher low all of a sudden here. It gives me a higher low, it gives me a lower high. So it looks like the market is undecided. It doesn't know what it wants to do. Buyers and sellers are going at it. Then it gives me another lower low, okay? I would think that the market is still going down. It looks like a pretty solid downtrend still, right? And then you get a higher high here, okay? From this lower low, now it made a higher high. So what does this tell you? It tells us that buyers are gaining momentum, okay? Because price is increasing now. But again, I'm not going crazy and getting into the buying mentality yet, okay? This is the first higher high after a long time, okay? And then you wait and you get a higher low, okay? This is another indication that buyers are gaining momentum and sellers are losing control. Now, currently, we're getting another higher high, okay? Now, I'm gonna wait for the retracement at this point to see what the market wants to do. But right now, I don't want to get into the buying mentality because it hasn't, I mean, this is strong candle going up. So I could see why it's 107 pips. Okay, you can go to the 1 hour, you can see what the price is doing. The price hasn't gone down yet, or it hasn't retraced. So we can't really say this is a higher high. It might go even higher than this, but we'll see. But the best chart to use is the hour 4. I use the hour 1 a lot too, but here you would go a lot crazier doing these higher highs and higher lows. You can use it, it helps, but for me it's easier to use the hour 4. It's more clear to me, so it's a lot easier for me to plot these out. And again, always wait for confirmation. All right guys, get used to that, and the rest will come.